Hi, this is Nick with Smithforgedsc Strength and Conditioning, and today I just want to go over an exercise to help those out there who have ankle mobility problems. So whether you're just someone that, you know, is an avid walker or somebody who's in the gym and likes to squat, ankle dorsiflexion is oftentimes something that is either neglected, or sometimes people don't even know they have a problem with it, and it can affect their performance in whatever exercise they may be doing. So I got Chad here today, and he's going to be helping me out demonstrate this exercise. Now, whether you're somebody who's had an ankle sprain in the past, or you have any ankle or foot pain, for example, this is something that can also be helpful during your rehab. And for those who aren't having any pain, but maybe you have some pain in your knee or your hip, this can also be beneficial in keeping your ankles as mobile as possible to keep those squat numbers up and whatever it may be. So this exercise that we're going to go over today, we're going to go over two different variations of it. One of them in which involves the big toe and that overall extension and flexibility, and the other one will eliminate that entirely. Now, the reason why I bring up the big toe, for those who have potentially plantar fasciitis, or just in general, if you happen to have toe stiffness, that can alter your mechanics with your walking, what you do when you go upstairs. Like I said before, it can affect your squat or how you get in and out of your chair. So this is something that can be beneficial for that. So the position that we need to do this on, you can do this with a wall, if you have a curb, anything where basically you can rest your foot up against it. So I'm going to take Chad here, and we're going to use his left side. And basically all he's going to do is he's going to put his foot up against the wall. And so his heel is rested up against there, but his big toe is up against the wall. Now, the greater amount of stretch that if you want to put on the big toe or on that actual ankle joint is by actually bringing your toe up higher. So from here, I kind of use this as a testing measurement. If there's a dorsiflexion test that we can do, where basically we put his toe a certain number of centimeters away from the wall, and if his knee is able to touch that wall, he has sufficient dorsiflexion in order to not be considered a potential problem. So from here, all he's going to do, you can either stand there, that could be enough. If you feel any type of tightness in the back of your leg, in either your gastroc or your soleus, which is your two calf muscles, that in itself might be enough of a stretch. But to add further stretch to that, what he can do is actually bring his knee closer to the wall. And so by keeping his heel on the ground and by bringing his knee closer to the wall, he feels a more intense stretch here and potentially at the ankle joint as well. And so the way that we do this is either you have it prolonged, where you're holding it like a stretch, holding it for 30 to 45 seconds, or you kind of pulse in and out. So you're at the end range and then you back off. And by doing that, that can improve your dorsiflexion range of motion and hopefully help you out with the rest of your sports. So from the static position, Chad can just stand here and he can get an adequate amount of stretch. And if he wants to enhance that stretch even further, he can bring his knee closer to the wall. Now, if he's looking for just an overall stretch in either his gastroc or his soleus, he can stay there and hold that for 30 to 45 seconds. Or if he's looking for more of an ankle mobilization, or if it's too painful for him to hold that position for too long, he can pulse going away from the wall and closer to the wall, getting to that end range and hitting it there. So this is a way to, one, mobilize the talocrural joint or your ankle, and also effectively stretching the Achilles tendon, the plantar fascia by involving the big toe here, and also his gastroc and soleus complex. Now, if he wants to eliminate the big toe, what he can do is bring his foot completely off the wall. He can bring his toe a little bit closer, and then from here he can do the same stretch where he's basically bringing his knee forward. So as you can see, if you were to rotate this way, he's still getting greater than 90 degrees. So this is another way to increase that dorsiflexion range of motion without including the big toe. So these are just couple different variations for that. Now there's many different ways to get to improve your dorsiflexion range of motion. Sometimes it can be due to the actual ankle joint being stiff, like I mentioned before, in the talocrural joint, or it could be due to muscle length deficiencies from either your gastroc or your soleus muscle. And these can drive impairments, including Achilles tendinopathy, plantar fasciitis. It could be from residual from an ankle sprain that you had back in junior high playing basketball. Limited dorsiflexion can really impair a lot of problems, and so these are just different ways to potentially improve that impairment for you, so that your activities may be better. Like I'd mentioned before, many different variations of the stretch, but these are just a couple different ways that kind of address everything all at once. Those are ones I like to give my patients, and they kind of address all the different impairments they may have. So if you have any specific questions about that stretch or how to perform that, feel free to comment below, message me. If there's any way I can help, let me know. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.